Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. Curry, one-on-one. Irving puts it up. It's good. Kyrie Irving from downtown. The three, steps back, crossover, puts up a three. Rebound James. Seconds. It's over. It's over. Cleveland is a city of champions once again. The Cavaliers are NBA champions.
Cleveland, this is for you.
What's going on, Cavs fans? Welcome back to another exciting edition of the Block the Shot to Stop. I'm Skylar Webker. He's Kevin Lynch. Kevin, not a great one tonight, but we have a couple of games to go over. Where do you want to start? I know we're kind of jumping into this, but do you want to start here at the Bucks game? Obviously, there's a lot to cover there, or do you want to start tonight because it's fresh? You are on mute.
Thank you. Sorry about that, everybody. Anyway, I mean, we can start with the Bucks game, but I mean, the two games overall just tell the same story of the Cavs. Just continue to be uneven, game to game, quarter to quarter. Really, I mean, you saw kind of both of these games were similar, where the first half was kind of ugly. They kind of just never seemed to get in a rhythm. And then they catch fire in the second half. Only difference is they were playing a much better team tonight, and a team that wasn't missing their best player in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, the Rockets they're a standout team this year. Obviously, the addition of Kevin Durant helps, but they are assumed to be kind of deep in the playoff run in the West. You would hope to have a little more consistency against the upper echelon team like that. But like you had a great point. This team is so inconsistent right now, game to game, quarter to quarter, half to half. They haven't seemed to be able to put together a cohesive couple of games, and I think a lot of that has to do with the injuries on this team. But man, it's not as pretty as you'd like it to be.
Yeah, I think that. The injuries definitely have something to do with it. But you don't want to beat that all the time, especially with the Garland and Strus thing. I mean, those guys are playing a combined 2.5 games this year. I mean, at some point you have to play better, even if you don't have all your best players, right? I think some of it is just like, I think Kenny doesn't have nearly as good a feel of this team as he did last year. That's just, this is my gut talking, that like, last year, he seemed to pull every single string. He knew the right lineups to play together. He knew the right rotations of, when to, like leave which starters in with which bench players and all that kind of stuff. I feel like he doesn't have a feel of this team yet, at least the available roster. And so you get a lot of this. I see him kind of, throwing darts in the dark a lot of times with I'm like, they're playing this lineup. When they came, I think it was the Milwaukee game, was the first time they played the lineup of Mitchell, Hunter, Tomlin, Mobley, and Allen. I'm like, who is the small forward in this lineup? Who is the shooting guard? He was just trying things, and he threw that lineup out again in the first day. That's the lineup that started tonight, actually. And so I think it's, it's a lot of things, and I don't want to minimize the injuries and the guys have been out, but I think Kenny just doesn't know exactly what to do with this team right now, the way he seemed to the whole season last year.
Yeah, that's fair. And like you said, I don't want to maximize the injuries as well, because it's still the NBA. You still got to win. You still got to figure it out. But there's been an inconsistent availability of guys. It's not like, Max Strus, you're just out. Right. He's not coming back for a while, where you have a little bit of Jalen Tyson, and then he comes down with the concussion. You have a little bit of Garland getting back in, and then he's back out with a re-aggravation. It's just like the revolving door of guys that are available. You have Sam Merrill, who's dealing with something on his own as well. So I think the revolving door makes it hard to get a footing into what you can do or what your team is. Where last year they just started healthy. I mean, they were healthy all year until kind of breaking down there at the end with Garland, especially.
Yeah, it is what it is, and honestly, if we want to, I'm not like pointing a finger and blame like that, but like the biggest reason this team seems to be in a funk, honestly, I think you point it back to the off season. Like we knew Garland was going to be out for a long time. We knew that, the whole summer, and they basically wanted to replace Ty Jerome, what Ty Jerome did with Lonzo Ball. And they're just very different players. And this Cavs team really succeeded when they have a Garland or even a Ty Jerome. This team, I don't think every NBA team needs a true point guard. I think this one kind of does, to set the table and to break down the defense and to get everything else going. And so, I think it was a little bit of a miscalculation roster wise coming into the year. And I think they're paying for now. And I think they just got to keep trying to figure this out, because if there's one thing it's proven is that they absolutely cannot succeed without a healthy Darius Garland. So they need to succeed in the way they want to succeed or have ambitions to succeed. So they need to figure out how to still have a good regular season and simultaneously have him ready for when it really counts.
Yeah. And hopefully those pieces start coming together sooner. I mean, we haven't really gotten a timetable for Darius Garland yet, but we did get kind of an update from Justin Rowan on Jalen Tyson, where he was practicing with the team yesterday or earlier today, whichever it was. Yeah. So you expect him to get back fairly quickly after practicing with the team. So that's good news, is that you're making some progress on some of the guys that you absolutely need. But let's get into this Bucks game.
Sure.
So the Bucks come to town, the third game of this homestand. Cavaliers win 118-106, kind of a mightily win. But you still saw those flashes of, this team is not very good right now. Especially when they try to stop anything with Giannis. Now, Giannis obviously got hurt in that game and did not return. But I think it goes back to that consistency that you brought up, is, can this team be consistent at all? But once you get into that upper echelon of talent, like a Giannis, like a KD, like Shai SGA, I'm not going to say out the whole name, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, and good news. I mean, not good news, but frankly, good news for the Cavs wanting to win that game is that Giannis went out late in the second quarter, didn't play in the second half. Which, while the Cavs played a lot better in the second half, and I'm not going to say that's the reason they won the game, I'm going to say it did make it a whole lot easier to win that game.
Yeah, especially in the fourth quarter, where the Cavs really put it away. Because if you look at the quarter by quarter scoring, it was pretty tight throughout. Now, the Cavs theoretically would have won even without that fourth quarter, but the fourth quarter is where they finally got their rhythm and got some cushion in there. Some of the standouts that I had in that game is obviously Donovan Mitchell. This is the marquee. This is the franchise. Everything he's doing for the Cavs this year, I feel, is elevated from what he's provided before. He knows when he needs to be kind of the juggernaut and when he needs to let others step in. Unfortunately, he's needing to be the juggernaut a lot more than we want him to be. But man, I'm running out of things to say about this guy.
Yeah, I was too, and that's why I kind of did a little research and I put out the clip earlier today on all of our socials and everything. That just want to dig into it a little bit. What Donovan Mitchell's doing, he's doing exactly what he's always done, just at an even more efficient level, right? Mm-hmm. He's taking about the same amount of shots. He has about the same amount of usage rate. He's literally has the ball in his hands about the same amount of time he does per game, but his points are at a career high. Field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, his true shooting numbers, his effective field goal. A big thing is he's playing faster. He's playing at a significantly faster pace than he's ever played before. Maybe some of that's running the point guard full time. I'm not sure, but basically Donovan Mitchell's doing everything that we're used to seeing him do. He's just doing it even more efficiently than his first team All NBA performance from last year. And it's such a stark contract to last season, especially the beginning of last season to the beginning of this season, that basically Kenny and the coaching staff and everybody went to Donovan and said, we need you to do a little bit less for the team to do a little bit more. Take a step back, let these other guys flourish. Start the season, it's the exact opposite. We need you foot on the gas, everything you got, while we're trying to figure this team out and figure out how we can get you the help that we want to get you, no matter kind of where it's coming from. So yeah, I mean, Donovan, again, you run out of things to say, but I guess what I'd say is he is as good as he's ever been, and he's doing everything he normally does at an even more efficient level. And that's why I asked the question, like, is this Donovan Mitchell's peak? And I think it's the start of his peak. I think he can maintain this for a little, for maybe a couple of years or so. But I do think we are seeing the absolute best basketball he's ever played in his life.
No doubt. I mean, and how much of this praise and love and admiration is kind of magnituded with nobody kind of around him improving or showing improvement as he has this year. So I'm not going to point fingers, but we're not really seeing the growth season from Evan Mobley that we expected to see coming off of that Defensive Player of the Year season, that monster season that he had last year. It honestly feels a bit like a regression from Evan Mobley this year.
Yeah. It's a regression in the sense of consistency. And I would say, yes, he has not gotten a level everybody expected, another leap this year. If anything, you're right, he's stagnant or even slightly behind where he was last year. And I really think the biggest thing is consistency. Like, for as much as we harped on Evan at times last year about consistency, this year it seems even more exaggerated how inconsistent he is game to game, quarter to quarter. I mean, you saw tonight he had 18 in the first half. I think he ended up with like 20. He was responsible for like half the missed free throws on the team, which is a huge problem tonight. And I know
we'll get into
we're talking
that.
About I know we're talking about the Bucks game now, but his lack of consistency, both performance wise, aggression wise, something they got to figure out. What coaching staff, Evan, teammates, everybody's got to figure out, like, how do we get this guy to, let's start out by getting him to where he was last year, and then we'll work on gradually building him up even higher.
Yeah. Right now, Evan Mobley is not an all-star player. And he should be, because he was an all-star last year. He has all the makings to be an all-star player. When he's playing well, I don't think there's any doubt. But the consistency of it hinders that's where it allows doubt to creep in. And that sucks. Like, we need Evan Mobley to be the all-star version of Evan Mobley this year, especially if we want to get to where we need to be.
Yep. I mean, you said it perfectly. I think the best thing they can do for Evan is to just take a step back. Let's stop. We came into the season, we're going to make you the focal point of the offense. We're going to run. You're going to be our offensive hub. All these things. Just let him, and you've seen a little bit of it. Let him just play. Let him get in actions where he gets the ball on the move instead of making him be the creator. I understand the team is very deficient at playmaking right now, but that's not working right now to ask Evan to do all of those things. So let's get back to how Evan worked in the offense last year. Like shoot 2, 3, 4 open threes a game. Getting a lot of pick and roll actions. Get moving off the ball, things like that. Get him in the post a little bit, especially when it's advantageous matchups. And you're almost gonna have to like build him back up a little bit, because honestly, for all these reasons, his confidence looks shaken a bit to be out from my eyes.
Yeah, and I'm looking up right now what he's averaging for, because he had 6 turnovers in that Bucks game, and he is averaging a career high in turnovers this year.
You're going to have that. The more that you're asked to play make, I mean, I guarantee just a very simple stat, like how much time with the ball in his hands, how many dribbles he does a game. I guarantee those are all career highs. So turnovers going to come with that. The turnovers wouldn't bother me if the shot selection was better, if the performances were more consistent and stuff like that. It's the fact that has those career high in turnovers without kind of the good things you're wanting from all that.
Right. Yeah. You took my second half of my point out of my mouth, man.
But anyway, with this Bucks game, like, good win. Giannis not playing the second half withstanding. While Evan was, he was okay. He was a little disappointing. Sam Merrill, continues to be outstanding. Unfortunately, he sprained his wrist and missed tonight's game in that effort. But Sam was walking around with some swagger in that game. 6 of 9 from threes. He was pimp walking in a couple of them, and I'm like, what is he doing? He's from Utah. But I thought Sam was great, and I did this big thing on one of our recent shows about if Sam's shooting 2, 3, 4 2-pointers a game, that's a good thing for the offense. Well, he shot 1, and it was at the very end of the game. So what do I know?
Yeah, I've been very impressed with Sam Merrill's, I would say, consistency from shooting this year. That was something from last year that we were all kind of, you're supposed to be our sharpshooter, but everybody else is shooting way better than you. So it's good to see him rebound off of that a bit from last year.
Yep, I agreed. And I'll take one more guy. I feel like we haven't highlighted a lot because he doesn't. His performance stands out more with your eyes than in the stat column. But Dean Wade's been playing some really good basketball lately. He has been super valuable. I mean, these past several games, the defense he was playing. I mean, I'm going to look up some numbers of when he was guarding Durant and he was guarding Şengün tonight, because he seemed like he was locking them up every time when they were otherwise having pretty good games. In this Bucks game specifically, 5 points, 8 big rebounds in 27 minutes. Actually led the team in rebounding. And I just think his defense and overall play has been, I love the term, be a star in your role. And Dean's role is to come off the bench, play 20 minutes, be versatile, be one of the best defenders on the team, and make a lot of, hustle plays, kind of between the cracks plays. And he has been really most of the season, but especially these last few games, been really, really good in his role.
Yeah, he's a darling to my favorite stat, plus minus. He led the floor in plus minus on that Bucks game with a plus 14.
Yeah.
So he's really been coming around, and we won't get into what his future with the Cavs will be, but right. I love that when he is on the floor and providing these critical stops and good shot selection like he has been.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, do you have a bad from this game you want to share, or you want me to go first?
From the Bucks game, or do you want to pivot to the Rockets?
I got one bad from the Bucks game before we move on. One thing, I'm trying to dig a little bit deeper into the nerd stats, because I'm really trying to figure out what's wrong with this offense. I mean, some of it's pretty obvious on the surface. Others is a little bit, underneath. And this Bucks game, they took 79 shots. I'll let you guess. How many of them do you think were in the paint? Out of 79.
12.
10.
Oh, I'm
very close. Very close. This team, especially last year, they shot a ton of threes, but they got to the rim a lot. They put pressure on the rim between breaking down the defense, between the quality of big guys they have, between offensive rebound and things like that. You should get more than 10 shots in the paint if you're the Cleveland Cavaliers with the roster they have. And I kind of saw that, and especially no Giannis in the second half. Without Giannis, they don't have a ton on the inside. Miles Turner, I get solid player, but that second half they should have been dominating the paint. And to only take 10, they were 5 of 10 I mean, 50% on paint shots is not good either. But I'm more worried about the attempts, because if they attack the rim enough, the numbers will work themselves out.
Yeah, I agree. I wonder how much of that is just the league catching on and saying, hey, the reigning defensive player of the year is on that team. Let's not let them get into the paint. I still think there's a lot of poor shot selections. Every time I see him take a three that's not in the corner, I start losing my mind.
Yeah.
Just they take poor, they have very poor shot selection in general this year.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and this shot selection, I would almost say it's like shot creation, because sometimes you have to take the shot. You only have 24 seconds to take one, right?
Right.
So I think they're not generating quality looks. Last year, how many times last year was the ball movement so beautiful that you saw someone pass up a very good shot or a great wide open shot? And it's like this year, you don't see a lot of like very good shots, let alone wide open shots. It's kind of like a lot of one-on-one or creating late in the shot clock, or, taking tough shots against good defense. They're not outwitting and out executing the defense in any kind of consistent way.
No, I agree with you. And that's something that they're going to have to figure out to really just get this team going. It seems like they get a few games, you start feeling a little bit better, and then they just revert back into this rut of something.
Yeah. And I will say it sucks to be talking about a win 2 days ago, right? Coming off of a loss, because like we're a little bit more negative about a win than maybe we should be. But so if we're going to be negative, we might as well move on to this Rockets game.
Yes. Yeah. Let's move on to the Rockets game, or what I like to call the Cavs versus the trees, because there is not a person on that Rockets team that's under 6'9".
Yep. Yeah. They are the ultimate example of the type of team the Cavs struggle against. Just like all big, tall, athletic, super tall, athletic wings. So you knew this was going to be a tough matchup coming in, and honestly, it's a game as good as the Rockets are. I thought the Cavs maybe beat themselves a little bit more than the Rockets beat them.
Yeah, I mean, the Cavs got close. They held their own within a lot of this game, especially in that third quarter. They came out and really played with pace and played with great shot selection and good defense. But I just couldn't dig yourself the hole that they dug themselves in the first quarter. And we talked about that before we got on and how that's pretty typical, but you can't do that in the playoffs. And I know that's the Cavs view right now, is that everything has to be looked through as, what are we going to be in the playoffs? How are we going to get through to the playoffs and advance into the playoffs? Because right now that's the dark cloud that's hanging over this franchise.
It very, very, very true. And even in a long regular season, there's games you pick out where you're like, this is one of the top teams in the league, as a measuring stick kind of team. I mean, Rockets are, other than Denver and OKC, right up there, is talented as anybody else in the West, or anybody in the East for that matter. And so, yeah, you want to kind of measure yourself against a team like tonight. And I think, I actually do think there are some positives I want to touch on as well, but also, not quite enough.
Not quite enough is true. But you know who is given enough and really given a chance to shine tonight? Naquan Tomlin. That guy. I love everything he's giving this team and trying to give this team. I love that he got checked and did not stand down at all as the real thin kid.
No.
I just love the attitude he has on this team.
You like him a little bit more now. He has a little crazy in him, right? I mean, he played really well tonight, and I think what you're seeing with kind of his emergence in the absence of Jalen Tyson is how much kind of the energy. I know you like to call like Jalen like the junkyard dog kind of guy. How valuable that can be on this team, because you see a difference when he's on the floor and he's playing well and super active and doing the things that make him really valuable to Cavs. A lot of the same things that make Jalen Tyson really valuable. And I think when Jalen comes back, I wouldn't be surprised if Kenny almost staggers the two of them so that one of those two is in the lineup the majority of the time.
Yeah, and God, how great would that be to have two crazy guys on the floor for you?
It would be it would be fun. All right, what do you want to highlight from where do you want to start highlighting from this game?
Oh, I'll start with the bad because, as has been well documented, nothing drives me up the wall more than missed free throws. And I'm not saying make 100%, but an egregious 63% from the Cavs tonight. 12 missed free throws from this team. Unacceptable by any NBA franchise and probably by most college programs.
Yeah, and I don't want to pick on him, but like Evan Mobley missed 6 of the 12 that we're missing. It's like I just think it's whether it's a confidence thing or it's a focus thing. He's just off. He really is. I mean, you saw that really weird play and going back to the Bucks game at the end of the first quarter, he got the ball with like 10 seconds left and threw a full-length shot. You don't see that. You see people make that mistake in high school games, not in NBA games. Like I almost never see that, let alone from a guy who's supposed to be a superstar in this league. So yeah, I mean, Evan is a better free throw shooter than he's showing, but boy, is he missing a lot right now.
I think you're right. And there's just got to be something else going on with him, maybe personal life or something, but it's like a weird, I don't know, I want to say if it's focus or just like these mental mistakes, whether it's the free throw line or the 3/4 court heave with 10 seconds left. Like it's just weird for a fourth year coming off of a defensive player of the year, all-star appearance. Like it's weird to have all that happen now versus a rookie campaign or something.
Yeah, it is. I wish I had. I wish I knew what was going on. I would happily solve it for the Cavs. But he just the way talking to a couple other Cavs content people recently about Evan, and it just seems like he was so built up coming into the season that he truly believed game one he's gonna have 25 and 12 and just do it the whole year and everything like that. And when it hasn't worked out that way through 15, 16 games now, he's kind of lost a little bit of his confidence, lost some of his swagger, and that's why kind of going back to what we were talking about before. I think they just need to just kind of build him back up. Maybe ask a little bit less of him offensively, use him more as a finisher than a creator of everything, and kind of get his swagger back because it's in there. We all know it's in there with Evan. It's just we're just not seeing it right now.
No doubt, and probably came in a little overhyped this season. For sure. I don't know Evan Mobley at all, and I don't know if he would be the type of person that would sink further if you took the thing you gave him away that he was failing at, or spitefully no, I do deserve it and build yourself back up. I don't know that kind of personality trait of him, but something's got to change because we can't go 82 of this and plan to be where we plan to be.
Yep, for sure. All right, so my bad. I'm actually gonna screen share here for a second, and
nice.
For my bad, trying to anyway. Actually, no, that's you can see the stats here, but I screened the wrong one. They on here you can see the 3-point percentage breakdown, right there in the middle of the screen. Above the break is where the straight lines become, go into a circle motion. Anything above there up to the top of the key, that the Cavs shot 31 of those tonight. The corner three, which is thought of, as we've said previously, other than a dunk, the best shot you can take in basketball, only 8. So they're taking 20% of the 3-pointers they're taking. And you can see the percentages from tonight, but historically in the NBA, I look back at like the last decade since 3-point shooting's become so prevalent. Teams are shooting close to 40% on corner threes, about 39 point something on corner threes. They're shooting about 34, 35% so above the break. So the entire NBA in the last decade shoots 4 to 5 percentage points lower than above the break threes. But those are the shots that the Cavs are taking so many of, instead of the golden ticket, which is those corner threes. And again, it comes back, not to regurgitate it, comes down to lack of pressure on the rim, where you swing the ball, whether that's breaking down the defense, a post up that causes the defense to collapse, and then you hit someone in that corner for the open three. They're just not getting those, and it's just so obvious. The problem is so obvious. The solution is not obvious at all. That last year they're taking the most threes in the NBA by like 2 to 3 threes a game. They're taking the most above the break threes in the NBA by like 5.5 more than any other team. They're taking the worst version of the 3-point shot. And so I don't know, again, don't know what I know what some of the answers are, and Kenny and everybody knows what they are much better than I do, but this has got to change, because it's every game. They're taking 70, 80% of the threes that they take. Not only shooting too many, they're shooting them from the wrong spots. They're shooting them from where if you're going to take a 3-pointer, it's where the defense wants you to take a 3-pointer from, instead of where the offense wants you to take one from.
I love these stats like this. And another one that was on your screen there when you're sharing was their 3-point frequency. 48% of their shots are the 3-point shot. So little under half, but just right around half of your shots are 3-point shots. And then 80% of those are not great percentage shots on top of that is not going to win you anything, let alone an NBA championship.
Yeah. And I'll leave this up here just because the picture's worth 1,000 words as we're talking about it. You can look at all the dots, forget the makes and the misses, that are above the break on the 3-pointer versus the ones in the corner. I should also add, this is courtesy of Pivot Fade. It's my favorite place to get NBA stats. I should at least give them credit if I'm screen sharing their stuff. Very, very good site if you're into kind of deep diving NBA stats or Cav stats. So, but with that, that's my bad from the game, from this game. But it's a story for most of the season. I go back and look more, but I'd be willing to bet most games look like this. 75-80% of the threes are being taken from where the defense wants you to shoot, instead of where you're trying to shoot. I mean, you're never going to be able to take 50 threes a game in the corner. It's just like you're asking for turnovers, But if your offense is flowing well and you're getting good movement and everything, you're going to end up with guys open taking those 3-corner shots. And then when they do happen, you got to hit them. I mean, gosh, it's getting really hard to watch Lonzo Ball shoot threes at times. I know he hit a couple tonight, but like it just continues to struggle, and he's being valuable in a lot of other ways. But it's just the way this offense is set up. You need guards who can shoot threes. That's just the way this offense is constructed. And so we as in the Cavs, I'm not actually on the team, really need him to just start hitting a respectable amount of those.
Yeah, and it's getting rough to watch anybody shoot the threes, other than I would say maybe Donovan Mitchell
and Merrill.
Yeah. I would put Merrill in there. Somebody that I think has maybe listened to us, or a listener of the show, is definitely DeAndre Hunter. His 3-point attempts have gone way back down to, I would say, normal.
Yeah.
And he's benefiting from it. There was a couple stretches in tonight's game, especially to start off the game, where he couldn't miss because he was creating levels of offense. He was driving to the hole. He would take good looking shots. So that I would put that as a good for this game. Is DeAndre Hunter looks like he's coming back to what the Cavs need him to be and not what he looked like when he came over from Atlanta, like we iterated before.
I think this was maybe his best game of the year. He was 6 of 11 from the field, 5 of 8 from 3. And you say, like, what are you talking about? He shot 8 threes out of 11 shots. First of all, he only shot 11 shots. He was super efficient. But he also got to the free throw line 8 times, which tells me he was playing inside the arc a lot and drawing fouls and getting that's just as good a way as any to score on most teams, not at the Cavs all the time. But I thought he was really good. I thought he was very competitive tonight defensively, where can't say that about every game this year. But I thought he was really good, and he was, a big part of the offense, keeping it somewhat in reach before Donovan Mitchell really turned it on in the fourth quarter. Just unfortunately a little too late.
Little too late. Yeah, and I would say, I don't know what it is. This has been a theme with Jared Allen and Kenny Atkinson. Is just like, he doesn't seem to want, he has no interest in putting Jared Allen in to get any type of rhythm or anything going. It's been a theme all year where it's like, he does not want Jared Allen in the fourth. He doesn't want Jared Allen in whenever this team needs to run at all. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it either, man. Before we wrap this up, I do want to say a couple things about the Rockets. Kevin Durant, I still love watching the guy play. He's amazing. They have a lot of really fun players on their team. Alfred Sengun is my least favorite player in the NBA.
Ooh, I knew that was coming.
Yeah, I want to get this on record because I usually say glowing things about opponents and everything. He is simultaneously the dirtiest player in the league and possibly the biggest whiner. Like he's basically Turkish Draymond Green in that sense. But also like he's so fake, man. I'm gonna start trying. I'm gonna give him the nickname Boy Band because of the hair. Putting gel in your hair before a basketball game, ridiculous. He's a guy who would talk really tough, like he's a Backstreet Boy when he's soft as Charmin. Like this guy, I cannot stand watching him play. I don't know. I'm sick. I don't talk about officials a lot, and tonight was just happened to be playing the Cavs, but I watched the Rockets enough. He is so dirty. He throws elbows so often and gets away with it so much. I can't stand it. He is one of the very few players in the league. I will say I do not like watching it all, and will root against him against anyone he's playing, basically.
Absolutely. It was driving me up a wall. I mean, you breathe on the guy, and he acts like you shot him in the head. Like,
oh my gosh,
Jesus!
Jared Allen has the dunk of the year where he gets called for an offensive foul simply because Sengun's pushing him in the stomach, but he just can't jump with Jared Allen. So Jared Allen's hand is in his face. They're touching each other, and Jared Allen gets a foul again because the guy's soft. He topples over and actually he got hit by Mike Tyson in his prime. I'm like, I'm so sick of that dude. I'm glad they only play the Rockets twice a year. Like, not because they're a good team. I welcome the competition, but I just can't stand watching that guy play.
No doubt. So as we wrap up out of here, the Cavs looking ahead. The Pacers come to town, and the Pacers probably having the season they expected to have. To be honest with you, just with the amount of injuries that they have. Obviously, losing your star player for the entire year stinks.
Yeah.
So not too much to go over on that one. Unless you have anything you want to add.
The only thing, unfortunately, they're getting a little bit healthier at the wrong time for the Cavs. They just got Ben Mathurin back, another Cleveland fan favorite. TJ McConnell just came back. He's obviously a huge part of their team. They're still struggling. Pascal Siakam's unfortunately having like a career year and doing everything he can, but they don't have the horses this year. And hopefully it's a game that, the Cavs come out right. They can take care of business. Absolutely.
The Cavs should absolutely take care of a 2-13 team.
Yes, I agree. I agree with that.
So as we get out of here, we like to close every every Wednesday show with our Dads Talking Cavs. This is free parenting advice. Your dad wins, your dad losses, just expressing what it is to be a dad. So Kevin, what do you got for me?
All right. So short story that leads. I actually have advice this week, not just trying to be funny, but so my daughter, a few months late, but has discovered the biggest sensation with kids around her age, the movie K-pop Demon Hunters. If you don't know about it, it's an animated movie about like K-pop, like Korean pop stars who also fight demons. She discovered this and wanted to watch it for the first time Thursday. We've watched it every day over the last 7 days, at least part of it. And when she's not watching, she's asking the songs to be on, sing sing-alongs, all this kind of stuff. And the first few days, I wasn't really into it. But then I remembered kind of something I learned along the way and told myself is like, lean into the annoying with your kids, because whether it's boys or girls, doesn't matter. When they're growing up, they're going to like things that are annoying to you because they're meant for kids and not adults. And so the last several days I've watched with her, we've sung, we've danced. She's gotten all into it. I got her a microphone so she can like do performances. I told her she could have a couple friends over to have like a K-pop Demon Hunters party. And it's just better to, even if it's something that when in my quiet moments, I'm so mad that these songs are stuck in my head. I don't know that they're unbelievably catchy and I don't know the words, but it's absolutely infuriating. But you're better off leaning in than fighting it, because it's going to be a lot more enjoyable that way, and it's going to be a lot more enjoyable for your kid, which is the whole point of being a good dad.
Nice. I've heard a lot of K-pop Demon Hunter just within the parenting circles. It hasn't reached my house yet.
Your son's another year or so. He's going to find out about it, and you'll be back in this boat.
Oh, hopefully something else is cool by then.
But it's all bad, man. It's all bad. Just pick your suck, basically. I mean, she could be watching princess stuff, Mickey Mouse stuff. All of it's going to annoy me. So, just lean in.
My parenting advice, it's definitely leaning in a bit, but there is this, as a duo or a music group or something, kids music called Pep and Perk.
Oh god.
And they have a bunch of songs. They're all so catchy, but they're all like their songs are like cleaning up the room, brushing your teeth, washing your hands, stuff like that. Like, I don't want to say educational because you're not really learning anything, but my son loves them. And whenever they're on, he's like, that's the thing we have to do. So the cleaning up the room song is on multiple times a day at my house because he's like, oh, it's almost like who is that Russian scientist when you ring the bell in front of the dogs?
Oh, keep going. Well,
whatever. It's almost like a calling. Like, all right, when this song's on, that's what you're doing. Probably, I don't know if that's good parenting or not, but he enjoys it. The songs are fun, and the room gets clean. So, I that's what I got for you.
I mean, I think our advice is pretty similar. Is try lean into the annoying, and hopefully it dissipates a little bit by doing that.
No doubt. So we'll be back on Sunday to recap the games again. If you're checking us out for the first time, please subscribe either on YouTube as we try to grow that channel, or here on Playback. We'll be on Playback every night, not every night this season, but we'll be on Playback all season long. Give us a like and review over on any podcast app of choice. We're on all of them. Be a friend, tell a friend. Let us know what you like. Let us know what you don't. We're just Cavs fans trying to make a good show for other Cavs fans. So for that, I'm Skylar Webker. He's Kevin Lynch. And as always,
go Cavs.